When an anxiety remains undefined or a task is left incomplete, the human brain refuses to let it go. This is the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological loop where unresolved thoughts continuously cycle in the background of our consciousness, consuming mental energy. We instinctively try to treat the symptoms of this overload, the feelings of stress and procrastination, rather than identifying the friction that started the cycle. Historical figures like Albert Einstein avoided this trap by prioritizing definition over action. He famously stated that if he had 1 hour to solve a problem that threatened his life, he would dedicate the first 55 minutes to properly defining the issue. This principle is often referred to as Kidlin's Law. A problem well stated is a problem half solved. The inability to clearly articulate a challenge is often the single greatest barrier to actually overcoming it. Biologically, an undefined problem is processed as a raw threat. It stays localized in the amygdala, triggering a continuous stress response. Writing forces these signals to reroute, bypassing the amygdala and engaging the prefrontal cortex, the brain's center for reasoning and logic. Putting pen to paper forces the mind to organize abstract feelings into a linear sequence. Instead of just recording your thoughts, writing structures them. Transferring the problem to the page provides the brain with a concrete target, shifting the mental state from a reactive fear response to active problem solving. This protocol is becoming the standard for interacting with artificial intelligence through prompt engineering. If you ask an AI for a generic business plan, you get back safe, boring text. The prompt is too vague to produce value because it hasn't defined what specific challenge the plan needs to overcome. High-level engineers use a failure-first approach instead. They write down their specific strategy, commanding the AI to find the one hidden assumption most likely to cause a total collapse in year one. By defining the exact failure parameters up front, the AI is transformed from a simple text generator into a precision strategist designed to spot logical leaks. In software engineering, quality assurance teams are often buried under a mountain of superficial symptoms like missing graphics or broken user interfaces. If a developer chases these visual symptoms without a clear definition of the root issue, they fall into diagnostic drift, wasting hours patching effects instead of causes. To counter this, many technical teams start every document with one sentence. Here is the problem we are solving. This chart shows how that single sentence acts as an anchor. It forces the engineer to look past the surface-level glitches and isolate the specific database timeout error that is actually triggering the failure. Articulating the failure in plain language is what actually allows the developer to find and patch the bug. We see this same logic applied to human psychology. For example, GMAT math questions are often designed to overwhelm the brain with fluff, irrelevant data intended to mask the actual question. Standardizing the problem on paper immediately strips away that intentional distraction, leaving only the core logic. This process is essentially what happens in cognitive behavioral therapy. In CBT, writing down negative thoughts identifies emotional distortions. It converts a wave of anxiety into an objective error in logic that can be examined and corrected. The moment the issue is formalized on the page, it transitions from a vague threat into a definable logic problem, making the next steps visible. Across every discipline, from neurobiology to software engineering, the rule is the same. You cannot control what you have not explicitly defined. A problem left in your head acts as a crushing weight. Translated to paper, it becomes an actionable blueprint. For day-to-day challenges, you can apply this using the 1-3-1 framework. You identify one problem in writing, list 3 proposed solutions, and commit to acting on the best one. The clarity required to move forward is almost always hiding on the blank page you've been avoiding. Write it down.